Hi guys, welcome to 100 Days of Code, the Chronicle. Okay, so my name is your God. Okay, I'm your God. I'm using NSA KGB MI6CIA as my pseudonym on GitHub for this code, right? But I have your God as my other name, so you can look me up on Twitter or anything. But today, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna start walking through on this code, 100 Days of Code. Okay, this is the journey that kind of happened still happening, and we just thought if we chronicle all it did kind of helps us a lot. But the reason why we started on GitHub is because version control is that $100 million skill that we all need to have. um, I say that because I started off by looking at another person. I'm not too sure if he's still here, but right just a moment ago, I was reading on Code Camp, free Code Camp rather. I want to see if I still have that with me. Kind of free Code Camp. Yeah, this one right here. It's a question that somebody asked in the forums. It was the question was, how do I stop or change Git repository on my computer? So we're gonna answer that question too. But the reason why we're starting off with this question first is one of the things that the guy said is, I've done a bit over the last year. That means he's learned a little bit of coding already, or more coding if you want to put it that way, but not much Git. And this happens to almost everyone. You start to learn code, web development, whether Python, Java, or whatever other language that you've been learning, but not so much of version control, right? So he just found out that thanks to whatever this ID it taught, gave him a warning that GitHub was set to his user forward. He was monitoring everything that was happening in his forward, which is not good. So how did he change that? That's what he was asking for. And look at the traction it acquired, about 9,000, almost 10K views. So this is a real question that almost everyone is facing, right? If you are still a newbie in programming, like you and I are, starting up on the 100 days of journey, 100 days of code. So we need to be careful, and we also need to acquire this skill of version control, right? So if you notice, there are so many platforms that are dealing with version control. GitHub, of course, is at the top of the list, but there's GitHub, there's all other these bunch. There's also Bitbucket and other ones. I don't know why this list is not that very good. Right. Anyway, it mentioned some of them, and the commands are pretty much almost the same. So that's the beauty. All right. So my GitHub repository is this one, and I've created already the 100 days of code. Okay. But for the sake of this course, so I will go, so we'll work together. What we're going to do is we're going to go down, 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 down to the danger zone, right? And we're going to delete this repository. And all you have to do is to confirm, you have to type this line of code, because that shows that you understand that this is going to happen and it can't be undone. So I understand the consequences and delete this repository, right? So I've deleted it. So now when you're coming back on GitHub next time, before you log in into your account, okay, just type github.com and perhaps you've logged in. It already gives you a new repository. Okay, so that's where I'm going to start from. 100 days of code right away. Okay, I'm going to make it public, and I'm going to create it. I'm using a pseudonym as I mentioned, right? So I'm just going to go ahead with that one. And then we have it back. Okay, and I like that it kind of gives you the quick setup, and this is everything that we're going to do. Okay, so now we have noticed how do we create a new repository on GitHub. Let's go ahead and check it out on command line, right? In this folder, which has this file. I'm gonna do ls, so you see there's day one, and if we go into day one, what's in there? There are two files, okay, BandNameGenerator and BandNameGenerator Java and Py. Right, so if you're wondering what's BandNameGenerator and where are these files coming from, all right, the Python file is from landonappbury.com. All right, if you go there on Land there's a course called 100 Days of Code by Angela Yu. All right, you can enroll it from you can enroll into that course from the website appbury.com, or you can go on udemy.com. All right, so on Udemy it's actually cheaper. So go on Udemy and do that and enroll on the Udemy, right? It's about 12 bucks or so, but it's kind of very comprehensive, so I'll recommend that you enroll into that course. So that's the course that you and other bunch of guys are doing, and that's why we are here working together in this course. So if you want to start your 100 days of journey, and there's a code Jenny and you're wondering where to start from, Angela you is your girl for that, alright? This Java thing is the same code in Python that I also was trying to do in Java. So I'm going to show you that. So I'm not going to dwell much on the Python since Angela already covers it in a course, and I don't want to, sabotage her. I'm going to focus more on the Java part. Well, how is it that I applied what she was teaching in Python onto Java? Okay, I'm going to do that for a couple of days, and then I will focus more on Python as we notice some of the things that Python can do, but Java can't do. Okay, so one of the things that you need to take note of is the Git status, right? So if you are using a Mac or other Windows version, you will probably notice that Git is already installed in your computer, right? So if you type Git version, you can actually see the version of Git that you're running, right? So initially when I typed the status, you notice that it says that the main branch is already up to date. That means I was running it before, all right? But when I did ls to see the files in this folder, we didn't see anything that gave us a hint that Git is running behind the scenes. So what we can do is use the a tag to kind of see what's hidden, okay? And there we go. That's the Git thing that's running in the background right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove it, okay? We're going to remove Git so that we start from the start, right? Okay, let me step that one. It should be like this. Okay, Git is not a directory. Okay, so it doesn't get removed like that. So you're probably going to have to use the rf tag like that. And then let's do like another quick check. Okay, now we left with our two files in these other hidden folders, right? So we can do our Git status one more time, and boom, not a repository. Okay, not a repository, any of the parent guys. So it's no longer there, right? So we can't check the status anymore. So this is a very good starting point, right? And now something that I want to mention real quick. I want to go back a little bit, and I want to check the Git status up this folder, okay? Because you could be monitoring the folder above but not the folder inside. So we have the same status right here. Okay, so the reason why we're coming up like this is because sometimes while you're on Git, you notice that all your files can be in just one place and not in folders, right? So if you want to keep them in folders, you gotta keep it one level up, okay? Like where we are right now, we say ls, and you see there's a folder, and in that folder those are the two files. So if you go ahead and just add the files, then you will see them standing alone. But if you add there's a folder, the files will be inside the folder, which is more like what we want to achieve today, because we want to be able um, to chronicle all the days, like 100 days of them. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with git init. Okay, so this is how we initialize Git. There it goes, initialized already. That was so fast. And then that's what we have right there. So if we do it in LSA now, we're gonna see. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna do the tag. And you see, DSO and Git are back. Okay, good. So we're making progress, right? Very, very fast. And then from there, what we're gonna do is we've initialized, and now we want to add files. All right, so how do we add files? We simply do git add, and then we add the name of the file that we want to add. Okay, but before we add them, here's what I want to do. cd, I want to go into day one. Okay, so I want to show you how we add a file just by itself. So we say git add. Okay, and just so that you know what's inside this folder, right, we're going to do another ls first. Okay, those two files. Alright, so we're gonna say git add BandNameGenerator like that. Okay, and when we do that, and then we do git status, we always want to check our status, right? And now you see we have a new file which is already ready to be put there. Okay, so if we do it like this, it works. Or another way of adding these files is git add, and then you put an asterisk, which kind of adds everything. And if you do git status now, You see all the tool names that we had earlier are now ready to be put there. Okay, and then this is the command to remove them. Okay, so we're gonna use that because the reason why, like I said, we don't want to add them as individuals. We want to add it as a folder. All right, so let's do that. Git rm, and we're taking away the create files, and the name is brand name. We start with that one. In fact, why don't we remove everything? Okay, let's try to put just the asterisk right there. Okay, so it removed both the day one BandNameGenerator 1 Java and the Python. Right, so if we do our git, okay, again I continue misspelling git status. Okay, good. So there we go, no commits yet. Alright, so we've deleted everything that was being tracked up. So we're gonna go one folder up, one level up rather, cd up one folder. Okay, so now that we're gonna have the day one under us, and then we can now add as the folder. Okay, add, and then we take in the day one. Okay, right there, and if we check our status, okay, now all of them are inside because we have added as a day. Okay, and now what we're left with is to commit. All right, so we'll do git commit, and we use the m tag to put in our message. Right, so first commit day one, and what we were doing was band name generator. Okay, kind of give a bit of a message there as well. Okay, band name generator, and that covers my tag. Okay, awesome. So that's our first commit right there, and you see those files have been changed and they've made it, and they've also created them right there like that. Now it's time to link up with our remote part. Okay, so for our remote part, if you come up over here, you'll notice that we have this link. This is what takes us to our remote part. Okay, so which is very cool. And what do we want to do? We want to come up over here. First, we want to make a branch, and then we add to that remote. Okay, so let's do that. We simply say git branch, and for branching we use the m tag, which is capital letter, and then the main tag like that. And once we've created our branch like that, now what will we do? We add to remote. Okay, so it's, we first select, we say remote, and then you add. Okay, and you also use remote at origin. Okay, so this is what you add the repository, the master rather, origin. Okay, and then that's where you paste the URL. Of course, sorry about that. And it doesn't allow you to do control back. Okay, so we're gonna have to delete the whole thing. Alright. We were being too fancy trying to, copy this part, and instead of copying this whole part, we could have just copied it like here so that we don't have to type the whole code ourselves. But anyway, it's also always good to kind of feel how it feels in your, to kind of sense how it feels in your hand when you're typing it. Alright, so that's what we did right there. So we are here on the branch main, and we have nothing to commit yet. So what do we need to do to have something to commit? We need to do a push. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do next. Git push, and here we use the U tag, right? And where do we want to push this towards? We first select the master, which is origin, and then we go to the branch, which is main. Let's just confirm that's what they do. Okay, yes, that's what they do. And you hit enter. Alright, let's see some stuff happening. Awesome. Awesome. So that's what it did right there. Good. So the reason why it kind of worked out like this right away is because I have already logged in. So that's why it's wrote all these files. to that folder, right? Cool. So if it didn't allow me to do that, what was going to happen was it was going to ask me for my login, and you could do that by um, either using the cheat sheet, right? There's this part here which is git config username, and you can also use the global tag if you like to make it work for everywhere, like what this other site does, and um, double hyphen global, and then you put your username, and then you use your email. Okay, so that's the same kind of thing that I'm doing with mine. If you noticed, I have this funny name which I created, and the funny email address as well. Now, then I log in using the token, because ideally these days the password don't really work, so you're gonna have to use the token, and you can create one by simply going onto your account and then settings, and then create a token, and then you can give um, the properties or level of authority to that token, like what can a person with that type of password do with it. Okay, so that's the beauty of tokens. It's not just a normal password which gives somebody every authority. By token you can select, okay, you can do this, you can delete, or you can write, or you can't do that. So that's why almost everywhere you see tokens are being the new way of doing stuff, right? So our two files in the folder day one should be available for us now. How do we see that? Moment of truth, right? Let's just click here, um, and we see already day one. It's been there. It's been done 4 minutes ago. Okay, so that's what we did when we were committing. And then if you click in it, we see already our files are ready for us, to be delivered, to be used. Okay, so that's pretty much everything as we need to do about or launching yourself up with mag what do you call it, um oh, we misspelled this one, but yeah, we spelled it right over here. So you see, we are doing it live, everything we just did, and it's uploaded right away. Okay, so now we're gonna continue working on GitHub as we continue with the 100 days of code. Okay, so this was day number one, and if you notice, we have 65%, 63% of the code is Java, and 36% of the code is Python. Okay, so now this is where we want to go next. Okay, for example, okay, so this is our Python, and very few lines. I like that, and this is our Java. Okay, so Python and Java. All right, so while we're still here, I think what we're going to have to do is um, all right, let's do it like this. And we're going to do day one. Okay, while we're here, we're going to do a cd, and where do we want to go? We want to go here. Okay, so we hit enter. So we're in that folder just to quickly check if we are. Yes, we have both two files. Good, awesome. So Python, BandNameGenerator. Okay, so this is how we run it already, right? So we say in Python run this file. So what it does is, first it's gonna create this greeting. You're gonna print out this one, and then you're gonna take the input. If you write input, this will be your prompt, and the input is stored over here. It does another input, and the prompt is stored. The prompt is created right on the fly, and the answer is stored in this one. And then we're using an F string to merge the two, right? So if you don't understand any of that, again, remember, go and roll into Angela's course, and then she will explain everything for you. Okay, awesome. So we now have our program, and we're running it straight from our terminal. Okay, so here it goes. So here you're starting a band. Let's get a name for it. Okay, which city did you grab it? All right, we're gonna go. Okay, right. And what was your pet's name? Which name was? What was it? No. Honey. Okay, so your band name is Detroit Honey. Okay, Detroit Honey. So that's the F string there. That's just used there to make the two together right away. Okay, so this is how we do it in Python. Let's do the same with Java. Um, okay, first thing first, we're gonna do a CD, and we're gonna check us there. All right, just again to confirm, we're gonna check how many files we got. Okay, and with Java, you first need to compile the file. Okay, so that you do Java C, which is Java compiler, right? And here it is. This is our file, and we're making use of the scanner, which is what we're creating over here. Okay, scanner, and we're calling it SC. This part here, system.in, it refers to the keyboard. So everything that's typed is being taken by the scanner. Okay, instead of creating prompts on the fly, Java needs you to print it as a line. So which city did you grow up in will be printed first, and then the prompt will come after. Right, and as you can tell, this is our scanner, and the next line, that's what takes the input, and it's going to be stored over here. And again, in Java, you need to specify what kind of data that is going to be. So it's going to be a string, and again, your pet name is going to be a string. Same format that we used to before. And then to concatenate the two, instead of f strings in Java, you can simply use the plus. Alright, so we're saying this string plus this name, which is the city, plus this string, which is just the space, and we're taking again the name of the pet. That's what we're putting on the last part. Okay, so print out, print out, print out. Your prompts are just kind of print out lines, right? And again, the scanner is from this package, right? Java.utility, so you import that first. And as you notice, Java starts with the main method, right? So you write it like this, and when it starts, you start looking for this class first, okay? So that's a bit of intro of how Java does things. Okay, so we're gonna do BandNameGenerator.java, and then we compile it. If there are no errors, it kind of gives you the prompt back. Okay, so that there are no errors right there. So let's run our file. So to run it, we simply say Java, and then we do BandNameGenerator. You're probably wondering, why are you typing it? We could just do a tab. The reason why is there are two files now with the same name. Okay, BandNameGenerator. Okay, so there we go. We no longer use .java because it's already compiled, right? We use .java when we're using Java C. So now we're getting our same prompt as we did last time, okay? And we're gonna answer, okay? That's not the spelling of Detroit. Detroit. Okay, and Guinea is the pet. Cool. So we're gonna call it Detroit Guinea. Okay. Awesome. So you see, we kind of did the same thing with Python. We did the same thing in Java, but of course, as you notice, Java has so many lines, so many of these semicolons at every end of statement as well. It's very, very long as compared to Python, which was just like 4 lines if we remove the commenting and stuff. Okay. So now, excuse me, we're gonna come back to our Git item right over here, right? First off, we're gonna type git status. Okay, and you notice that there's one file which is unchecked. This one, we just got added right there. So where is this file at now? Or if we do ls a, okay, we need to do cd and move to day 1 again, and then list our files right there. Okay, and then you will see that we do have another third class indeed, which is BandNameGenerator.class, right? And if you come onto the folder, right here we see the BandNameGenerator.class, okay, which was created just now. The reason why it was created is because after we had ran this part here with the compiler, right? That's when we kind of get that file recreated right away. Okay, I'm not sure why drunkards are screaming outside. Hope that doesn't affect how you're hearing me. But anyway, picking up from where we left, this is your compiler class, all right? So if you have this class, um, you probably wanna, you probably don't wanna upload that to your GitHub, all right? You don't wanna upload that to your um, repository, right? So how do you do that? This leads us to another file which you probably have heard of. It's called gitignore, right? It's .gitignore. And how do you do that? What you normally do is you can just create it. To create it is you can use touch, the command touch gitignore, and make sure you type that correctly. Gitignore like that. All right. So if you do that, I'm sure it would have been created, but it will be hidden. All right. It will be hidden. So you know what we do when we want to see something that's hidden. Okay, there it is. That's our new baby right there in the corner. Okay, so from there, but let's just do a clear screen, right? So that we kind of start from the top. Okay, we want to edit that, and one of the beauty of our terminals is that it comes with a text editor embedded in it. It's called Nano. So Nano, what do you want us to edit? We want you to edit git ignore. Again, if you just type nano git ignore, if git ignore is not there, it will create it for you. So that's the beauty of nano again. Alright, so nano git ignore. Okay, there it is. We're already inside. So what is it that we want to ignore? We want to ignore everything. Okay, everything is star dot class. Okay, so everything that ends with class, ignore that one. Okay, cool. Then we also want to ignore the ignore file itself. Okay, so dot git ignore. So I think we're going to do it like that. And from there, we want to save our file. So we just need to exit. Do you want to save? Yes. Okay. Good. So we wrote our file, which is git ignore, right? Just to test if it's working well. Let's see. We're gonna use open .git ignore. I don't know why I put I before I kind of feel like I want to start to type ignore before I put the git part. Ignore, okay? And then we put a tag to highlight the app that we want to use to open it with. So we are going to open it with text editor, right? So here it is. Just open up. I think I'm going to drag it down for you. So dot class and dot ignore. Okay, that's what we type when we use Nano. So this is our dot ignore file. So it's reading up and ready to be used. Okay. So now we're gonna go git status. Right. Git status. Okay. Now it's saying everything is up to date. How does it know that everything is up to date even though there's a dot class? Because we told it to ignore it. So it's no longer gonna be included on our part. Okay. So that's pretty much what we were trying to do. Okay, today we touched on Git, we touched on Git ignore, we also touched on how the program runs in Java and how the program runs in Python, right? So that's my first day for you. Tomorrow we'll do day number 2, right? We'll walk through together the code. We're gonna be a little bit faster because obviously we're not gonna, start from, with the Git version control stuff, but we might even try to. You never know, right? We can try and link up a Bitbucket with GitHub, see how that goes. Sometimes you're going to be employed with a company that uses a different version control platform altogether, so you got to get used to that as well. But if it's too much for you to take in on the first day, don't worry, it's gonna get clear more and more as we go. But if you haven't enrolled in one of Angela's courses, please go ahead and do that. She's a fine lady. She teaches very well as well. So many wonderful comments from me in the group. If you don't know what group are we talking about, hit me up in the comment below. We're going to always drop your number. We're going to add you to the group as well, where other people are doing 100 days of code. Okay, so from me, your gardener, it's done for the day. We're going to link up again tomorrow, and very soon we're going to start having live out office hours where we have code practice sessions where people can contribute, share ideas, logging their queries, and then we can solve them together as a group live. And we can even stream it on YouTube or on Zoom. We're still working on that, but we're gonna have one session every week, and then we're gonna have one session every day. towards the end of the year, where we'll be focusing on portfolio projects, right? So stay tuned. But for now, adios.